guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for this video. I filmed one of these, or like the first part of this, I think a few months ago. It's been quite a while at this point, but basically we are going to be talking about Steph Bohrer's 5-star reads. Now if you don't know Steph Bohrer, there's literally like a 0.1% chance you don't. You know who Steph Bohrer is. She is the queen of booktube, BookTok, YouTube. She's just a queen in general, and she is the #1 reason I even put out my first book video. So I love her. Basically, my first video, I saw her 5-star reads, her first 5-star reads video, all the books she gave 5 stars, and I made a video of my ratings to the same books that she rated 5 stars, see if we had like similar tastes and stuff. Basically, that's what this is. She posted her second one a few months ago, and I haven't really done part 2 yet, but I just went back to it, I watched the video, and I saw the books that she rated 5 stars most recently, and I've read quite a few, so we're gonna talk about it. I was gonna go back to her first one because I read a few more that are in the first one than I didn't when I first did the video, like the first part to this, but she was saying how opinions change basically, and how the books in her first video of all the books she gave 5 stars probably won't be exactly the same, or she won't have the same opinions and feelings on them, which I've said before, like you grow as a person, you grow with your opinions, and your stances on books and your opinions and ratings can always change with that. So I'm not going back to that video and talking about the other books. I'm just gonna go with the most recent one that she posted, so her part 2. She's so right, opinions do change on books like heavily. But yeah, I have all the books with me. I have a few that I read on my Kindle that she's read, a few that I didn't read but we're still going to talk about, so this should be fun. Also, my new water bottle, guys, it's from Waterdrop. Wait, first look how cute the color and the little patterns are. I need to talk about it. They have so many colors and patterns on their website, but my favorite part is that they use like natural fruits and plants to enhance the best drink in the world, which is just water, obviously. And their drinks are sugar free, they're vegan, they're gluten free, they don't sacrifice taste. And it's a glass bottle. It's literally so cute, but you save up to 90% of plastic and CO2 in comparison to like a plastic bottle, and they collect and recycle 1 ocean-bound plastic bottle for every pack sold, which is phenomenal. But my favorite part is they have flavors. I brought them all here to show you. I have a bunch of them right now. My favorite, I'm not gonna lie right now, is the Love one. They all have little names, and you can choose like flavors to go with your bottle, which just makes it so much better, because I legit do not drink enough water, and the only way you'll get me to drink water is to make it flavored. Like I won't just sit here and drink some plain water. So my favorite part is you get these. This one is Love, and it's pomegranate, goji berry, and acerola, I think you say it. So I didn't put it in today, but I'm gonna use it. Usually I'll just fill this up in the morning and drop my little dropper in and drink it throughout the day, and it's literally delicious. You legit just drop it in, you wait for it to dissolve. You can see it like bubbling and stuff, you can't really tell, but it's gonna dissolve, and then we're gonna drink it, and it's gonna be literally so delicious. It just made drinking water so much easier. I had to share it with you guys. They have so many flavors, and if you're like me and you don't drink enough water and you need like flavored like drinks to do it, this is like a healthy way to do it. It's so easy and it's so cute. Alright, so if you need to drink more water like me, you can use my code SarahWD15. I'll put it on the screen, I'll link it down below. You get 10% off. Anyway, literally so delicious. Into the video, I had to share. First book that she talks about, if you guys literally didn't think this video was meant to be, wait till you see the first book she talks about if you haven't seen that video. I'm also gonna link hers down below, but are we kidding? I don't know if she said that she wishes she put this in like her first video, but like it's funny because when I uploaded my second, like part 2 to like my 5-star reads, this was the first one, and I was like, I didn't put it in my first one, and it's my favorite book ever. But she has the same feelings that I do on this book. She read it in one sitting. She loves it, and I feel like she loves it just as me, and we are just on the same page with this book. So I'm not even gonna go into it. You guys know how I feel. I also gave it 5 stars. I would give it 1,000,000 stars if I could. And it's not even just the story that I think is 5 stars. It's just the way this book is such a comfort to me. It's such a comfort book, and I could just read this knowing that it just makes me feel good, just because I love the characters. It's a wholesome book for me, and that's why I love it so much. This is my Kindle read. So she then talked about The 7 Husbands. I have such an unpopular opinion on this book. The thing is, I didn't love it, but I can vouch for people that did, and I understand why people give it 5 stars and why people like connect with it so much and love it so much. I just personally didn't connect with the characters. I didn't love them, and Steph was saying how she liked the interview style of it, because basically 7 Husbands, it's an older woman in present time. She is a Hollywood star, but she is older now, and she wants to tell her story. So by doing that, she gets a reporter to write her story for her, kind of, and you kind of get the interview process between them, but then you get the flashbacks when Evelyn's telling her story of like what happened back in the day. I didn't love the interview style. I wish it was told through Evelyn's point of view, but I can also tell why people love it. Like it's definitely a different way to tell Evelyn's story, and there's a plot twist at the end. I just didn't connect. I didn't love it. It wasn't for me, but like I'm not gonna sit here and bash on it and say like I don't understand why people give it 5 stars, because I do. That's that one. Then she talked about The Fine Print. She loved this book. This one's iffy for me funny. Basically, it's workplace romance, Grumpy Sunshine. Rowan is a bajillionaire. His family owns like a fictional Disneyland type of place. I've talked about this so many times, but Zara is hired to work under Rowan. She's helping him because in order to get something from his grandfather's will, he has to do something, whatever. They help each other. Zara is a complete sunshine character. He is a complete grumpy character. It's a perfect Grumpy Sunshine trope. I remember reading this really quickly, and I remember it got me out of a slump, and Steph said that. She said if you're in a slump, this will take you right out of it, and I really do agree with that. I just have been in such a, I don't know the word, I've just been so, like, not against, but not loving Grumpy Sunshine tropes and characters like this so much that my opinions changed since I first read it. My first rating with it was a 4 out of 5, and I like loved it a lot, but like I said in the beginning, opinions change, and then eventually by the end of it, it wasn't my favorite. But again, I totally see the 5-star. If you love Grumpy Sunshine, you love workplace romance, and these characters are done so well with that trope, you would legit love this book. But yeah, I don't know, my opinion changes like on and off with this book, but I can like totally see why 5-star. All right, then she talked about Confess, and she had such good points with this book. Basically, if you haven't read this one, it's by Colleen Hoover. It's about a girl, her name is Auburn. She stumbles upon this art gallery and she needs a job because she's trying to get something back. You figure that out throughout the book. And Owen is the love interest in this book, and he is the one that owns the studio. He takes people's anonymous confessions and he turns them into artwork, and it's like he sells that around his studio. And he hires Auburn, and there's like a romance that it catches, but there's also like a mystery of like Owen has like seen this girl before, and Auburn is trying to fix her life. I can't really say too much without giving it away, but anyway, Steph said that she could not put this book down, and I could not put this book down. I read this in one sitting. I literally, less than 24 hours, I finished this book. I don't know what it was so captivating, and I absolutely loved it. I rated this a 5-star as well. I loved their romance. I loved the mystery element. Like, you don't know how he knows her, you don't know what's really going on, how it's gonna end, and I loved it. And then she also said that she gave this 5 stars, but it doesn't top her other favorite Colleen reads, which is literally what I was trying to like get out with this book and like some of other Colleen reads. Like, I love them all, but there's some that like can't be topped, like November 9th Ugly Love Verity. But this is a 5-star. I just like have others that I love so much. It's just like I wish there was like a bigger rating system that I could just like put them on like a different scale. But I agree with literally everything Steph said about this book. I loved this book so much. All right, then she talked about Normal People. Okay, so Normal People, this book is like hard for me because I feel like Steph was talking about how she read it a second time and she could connect to it more, and that's what made her like really love the book. And I feel like if you can't connect to the characters and you don't like specifically character driven books, you will not like it. And I feel like it's hard for people that don't like it to understand why people like it, because they're like, this book is so boring, it's literally just a monotone book. But like if you can connect to it, I feel like you definitely love it. And I don't know, I feel like that's why I loved it. I could like see myself in some of these characters at some point in my life. And basically, if you haven't read Normal People, I'm sure you've seen it by now. I think I rated this a 3 out of 5, even though I like something about it, I love it and I still think about it. Like, it's not a book I could ever forget. But anyway, it's about 2 characters and their life from high school, after high school, college, postgrad, but it's not, there's no like storyline. Like, you're just reading about their life and what's going on between those timelines, and you see how they grow and change as people, but also like together, even though they never really could figure out their relationship. But Steph said that she reread it and she liked it, and she loved it even more when she reread it. So I feel like I would probably raise my rating. I would appreciate it more if I read it a second time as well. So maybe I'll do that. But then she also said if you're not into following 2 characters and not really a plot driven book, to watch the adaptation. And I say this every time I talk about this book, the adaptation is spot on to the book. It's so beautiful, and it seriously is probably the best adaptation I've seen from a book that I've read into a show or a movie. So definitely, if you're not feeling the book or anything, watch the show. It's an amazing show. I just like totally agree with that. It's so good. Then she talks about Daisy Jones and the Six. I just recently received this. I haven't read it yet. I am on the fence about it because I want to read it so bad because I see it everywhere. And just like Steph, like, she gives it a 5 star, so I'm like, if she liked it, if she loved it, then like, there's hope for me to love it because her taste is like very similar to mine in books. She was saying as she was reading it, she was also listening to the audiobook. So I feel like I've heard that with so many people when I talk about this book. They're like, literally just listen to the audio because you have like different characters, and this is written in like people talking. I don't really know how to explain that. Like a script kind of in some points, and you get in the audiobook apparently a bunch of different voices, and it sounds like real people going on. So I feel like when I read this, I'll probably do what she did and like go in and out with the audiobook. I feel like that would probably make me like it more. I don't know, I feel like this book is gonna bore me because Taylor Jenkins Reid, I don't know, I can't grasp her books. I don't know what it is. The only one I really loved was Malibu Rising, and not even like that much, but it like was my favorite from her. So I'm just like scared to read this, but I trust Steph and I'm gonna try it, so we will see in the future. All right, and then Reminders of Him. This one I read on my Kindle right when it came out. This book, like I said with Confess and just Colleen in general, whenever I read a Colleen book, I know I'll get through it fast. I know I will enjoy the story. I know that the ending will have like a full circle closure moment, and this book did. I cried to it. I felt the characters' emotions. I loved the storyline, and basically it was about Kenna, who moves back to her hometown and she has to fight for her daughter, but then she meets this guy Ledger, and there's like a whole trope in here that's kind of interesting, but then it's also like single parent trope, and it's like stuff like that that I didn't love. Anything child trope isn't like my favorite, but the thing is, like, it's a Colleen read, so I like loved it, but I understand why it's 5-star. Like, it's literally a beautifully written book. Like, obviously everything that Colleen writes and the way she writes always gets me. It's just like this wasn't a 5-star for me, but like so many of these books, like I can see why it's 5-star and I can see why people are like in love with it, because I remember reading it and I literally have a reading vlog on this, and you can tell how much I liked the book while I was reading it, but then I was just like, after, there's other Colleen books I love more, but it's still a good story. So there's like a theme going on with Colleen books. It's like, how do I rank them to the other ones I've read, even though they're all good. Then there's books she talked about that weren't complete 5 stars, but it's like a 4.75, 4.9, like they just don't level up to like these 5-star books, but they're like very close. And I feel like that with literally so many books. Like, it's hard. The rating system is hard. I don't know who made it so selective, but like 1 through 5 stars isn't enough. We gotta switch that up. Anyway, so she talked about Wait For It. I haven't read this book. She was talking about it and she was like, it's Mariana Zapata, it's slow burn, it's single parent, and I was like, those are all things that I don't love. So I don't know if I'm ever gonna read it. It's hard because people give me Mariana Zapata titles and are like, you might love this one if you didn't love this one, and I'm just like, I don't know. But Steph was saying how she's more intrigued with the characters, where she wasn't saying like, where's the romance? Like, when's the romance gonna start? And that was me with From Look Up With Love and The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. I just literally would just sit there 300 pages in, when is the romance gonna start? And it's so hard because Mariana Zapata is such a slow burn and I don't have patience for it. But Steph said that the characters in it made her more interested and she wasn't really thinking about or caring about the romance. That kind of intrigued me and I might like it, but I'm scared it's gonna bore me and put me into a slump. So I'm always on the fence with Mariana Zapata. I'm scared to touch another one of her books just because I have this opinion from the previous books I've read of hers, and I don't know. But we'll see. Okay, and then she said Most of All You. This is like one of the only ones in this video that I like don't completely agree with, but I like again can see why she gave it 5 stars. Like, she loved Gabriel, how he was just like nice guy, and then she said how they were both broken. It's about this girl Crystal, and she is so completely closed off to relationships and men and stuff from her past. Like, she's completely broken, and she works at a strip club, and Gabriel comes in, something happens to her, he like rescues her, helps her, she stays with him. But I didn't love the way Gabriel kind of like, to me, I felt like he like forced his way in. He was very like, I need her, I'm gonna have her, I'm not fighting. Even if she said no 100 times, he was like, it's gonna happen. And then eventually she kind of like opened up to him and stuff, but it was just like that beginning, like the way that they became a relationship or connected, it wasn't really for me. I didn't love it. But after I got over that part and we got to like the second half of the book where it was like a whole different situation happening, I ended up really liking it. It's just the way that the relationship kind of sparked, not even sparked, like just happened. I didn't love it, but I did love, there's a lot of quotes in here that I really liked. There's one part in here, like not a plot twist, but there's just like a little, you realize something throughout like what the titles and the quotes of the chapters are, which I really like. But they're such broken characters that it's like I kind of understand everything, so I don't know, it's iffy, but I give it a 3 out of 5. Like, I didn't hate it, it's just wasn't my favorite. I mean, it was good, so I don't know. And then she talked about Redeemed from the Dirty Air series by Lauren Escher, which is the same author as the Fine Print 3 Million Billionaire series. I haven't read any more of her books after that series or that duology. I finished Terms and Conditions and I kind of like put her away for a little, but I've heard the Dirty Air series was literally amazing. I think I'm gonna read it one day. I just don't really want to read about fake dating or grumpy people right now, and I feel like that's what those books are. But I do know that she said it's forced proximity, it's fake dating, and I know it's like a series, but she loves it and I trust her, so I will probably end up reading the series one day. I remember I put it on my Goodreads like want to read list, so it's intrigued me before. I think I'll get to it one day, I just don't know when. But that was the last one she talked about. Those are all of the books in Steph Ward's 5-star reads video part 2. I love doing this. I love seeing my opinions in comparison to other people's 5-star reads, especially Steph, because we just have such similar tastes, and she's just, like I said, such a queen, and I just like trust her opinion. So whenever she like posts videos like that and I haven't read one, I'm like, okay, I need to read this. But then she'll talk about books that she gave 5 stars that I read, and it's like I like to compare opinions. I think it's fun. I hope you enjoyed. Those are all of my opinions in comparison to Steph's and how I feel about these books. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I will see you hopefully in the next one. Bye!